War with Iran will be World War III. Iran is not alone, and it will not remain alone. With Russia, we are at possibility of peace, but we're also at a possibility of nuclear war. They're both very close. And if we go to war with Iran, we make nuclear war all the more likely.
Do you think that the people pushing us toward war with Iran understand that?
No, I think that they're following a plan, clean break, 1996, and a plan, 1991, 7 wars in 5 years, that has been deep set, and that has been Netanyahu's baby all the time. Netanyahu, I regard as one of the most delusional and dangerous people on the planet. He has engaged the United States so far in 6 disastrous wars, and he's aiming to engage us in yet one more. We're not standing up for Israel. We are engaging in war on Israel's behalf all over the Middle East. That's a completely different thing. Nothing that has happened in the Middle East has been for American national security. None of it. Not one of these wars. These have been Netanyahu's wars.
Things are heating up in the Middle East. And while the mainstream media keeps looping the same sound bites, something...
Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the thumbs up button. And drop your city in the chat. Let me know where you at. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know where you at. This has to be talked about. I know a lot of times I talk about relationships and all that, but I am about the community. So whatever the community is going through, I got to talk about it. So drop your city in the chat. Let me know where you at. Put a, let me make sure the chat is running properly because something is going wrong. Well, it looks like it's going wrong. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know where you at. Everybody drop your city in the chat. I need to make sure before I start this long soliloquy that my live stream is running properly. So put a 1 in the chat or drop your city in the chat so I can see to make sure y'all are here. All right. So, okay, we good. We good. All right.
Major is unfolding behind closed doors. Yesterday, Benjamin Netanyahu personally called Donald Trump. He urged him to end negotiations with Iran and join Israel in going to war. Trump refused. According to Israel outlet Haaretz, Netanyahu wants the U.S. to back an immediate strike on Iran's nuclear facilities, but Trump reportedly told him not now. He refused to give the green light and told Netanyahu to stop fueling public discussion about a possible attack.
So right here, and I'm not the political person, but one of the reasons why I would have liked, well, I'm happy that Donald Trump won versus the other person is this right here. Because regardless of what y'all want to say about eggs or the school system and all this other mess, you know, the economy, the number one job of the president of the United States is this: to keep us out of war, to keep us out of other people's business. And yes, America is in everybody else's business. But I look at Donald Trump as somebody that is not going to allow another person, another country, another entity to manipulate him into doing something that he doesn't want to do. And sometimes he doesn't do what we want him to do. But I rather have a president with balls versus a president literally without balls, because the other person doesn't have balls because it's a woman. So situations like this, and even with Biden was so stupid where he can easily or was easily getting manipulated by other countries to do shit that he didn't necessarily think was in the best interest was of America, simply because he's easily able to be manipulated. So the president of the United States, first and foremost, is the commander in chief of the military. Forget about eggs. Forget about the price of cars. Forget about tariffs. This is where the president of the United States actually earns his money. And I'm not against Kamala or anybody. Well, I'm against Kamala because Kamala was an idiot. But I am not for Donald Trump. I just see Donald Trump as a better commander in chief than Kamala Harris, who we notice that couldn't talk or think herself out of a paper bag. So, yeah, but I'm not a Trump supporter, but I'm glad that Trump is making these decisions for the United States by not doing things versus doing things, because we literally have a female president, and you already know, because all of y'all women know, virtually every last one of you women complain about how every man that you ever dated manipulated you, you did things that you didn't necessarily want to do. A lot of you ladies have people pleasing issues, right? So imagine you doing some dumb shit, or just sleeping with somebody, or doing whatever that you don't necessarily want to do with a man. Imagine you being the president of the United States, and the men that are manipulating you are actual countries that would love to take over this country. That is the reason why we needed an alpha male as the president of the United States, because of situations like this.
Now let's zoom out for a second. If Israel moves on Iran alone and the U.S. holds back, experts say Israel would last maybe 2 weeks before the region spirals out of control. And whether we back them or not, the world will still see America as guilty by association, which means the U.S. might get pulled into the fight either way. That's one front. Then we've got Ukraine, where speculation is growing that Putin could seize this very moment if global attention is locked on the Middle East, and strike with overwhelming force to end the war on his terms. No negotiations, just brute resolution. And that would open a second front. And then there's a third. The unrest growing inside America itself, social division and political tension that you see on TV. Now think about it. That's 3 fronts. Middle East, Ukraine, home soil. And you still think this is about one conflict? The world is being stretched thin, and the pressure points are no accident. There are whispers about buffer zones as well, like Poland becoming flashpoints, with provocations potentially pushed by Western interests. I won't speculate, but I will say this.
Provocations, that means somebody provoking another person. So it's the thought process of provoking somebody to do something. So provocations is the action of provoking people to do something. Let me back it up a little bit.
Accident. There are whispers about buffer zones as well, like Poland becoming flashpoints, with provocations potentially pushed by Western interests. I won't speculate, but I will say this. The pieces are moving fast, and it's all happening at once. For Trump or any leader, this isn't a battlefield. It's a minefield where every step has global consequences.
And real quick, shout out to the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day to all the men watching. And if you are a father, shout out to you. Drop, I don't know. Let's see. What is a picture of a father? Just drop a thumbs up in the chat if you're a father, and I just want to wish you happy Father's Day. And to the ladies, where is my happy Father's Day? Ain't nobody in the chat. Oh, well, never mind. Karen said happy Father's Day, so thank you, Karen. So if y'all are down for Father's Day, and because some of y'all don't like y'all baby daddy or whatever, but if y'all support fathers, support me. Cash App is under this video. Cash App is $AARON 1000, AARON 1000. Buy one of my card games. I will always prefer you to buy the card games over a Cash App, but I'll take that either way. But drop a Cash App, drop a super chat, buy a card game. Wish me happy Father's Day. Let's go. Wish happy Father's Day to not only me, but to the other men that are in the chat. And fellas, if you're a father, drop a thumbs up in the chat so I can wish you happy Father's Day. Let's go. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. Spam the chat. Happy Father's Day. Spam the chat. Let's go. And hit the thumbs up button.
We're staring down a moment in history where any misstep could ignite something none of us even want.
Iran confirms U.S. military bases will be targeted in the coming days. During Iran's attack on Israel last night, President Trump gave the order to the U.S. military to assist Israel in shooting down these missiles. And Iran is claiming that this is a direct intervention by the United States and that they are now a part of the conflict. It is worth noting that the type of missiles that Iran fires is unable to be intercepted. As we watched last night, the David sling over Israel failed. The most likely bases to be struck are the Air Force bases in Iraq, which were being used to shoot down some Iranian drones. Days ago, President Trump did give the order for air bases like this in Iraq to evacuate all non-essential personnel.
Yo, y'all are hilarious. Cody said, yo, yo, I love that avatar. You are hilarious. I need to steal the avatar. That's a hilarious avatar. Shout out to Cuddy. Iran should have played the card game. Facts. Put a thumbs up in the chat if you are a father. Shout out to Joshua. Happy Father's Day. NY Bird said, I'm scared. Don't be scared. Let me tell y'all something. No matter what has went on, we have gotten through it. All right. Remember COVID, the whole country shut down. Remember when COVID first started, it was reports out in New York saying that they were just stacking dead bodies into the back of a tractor trailer truck because it was so many dead bodies. Do y'all remember that? Put a one in the chat if y'all remember that. Back when COVID first started, it was this report that New York was so bad and so many people were passing away where they were literally stacking bodies into the back of a tractor trailer truck. All that stuff was lies. So regardless of what you see on social media, regardless of what you see just on TV, this shit is not as bad as you think. And we all are going to be okay. So don't be scared, because being afraid of something that you don't even know, it doesn't make any sense. Be prepared and not scared. I'll say it again. Be prepared and not scared. Thank you, Moeezy. All right. Because just sitting around being afraid of what? Like, what are you afraid of? Even if we go to war, we've been to war before. I'll say it again. We've been to war before. Nothing happened. So what are you afraid of? You do know we were at war, what, 10 years ago? You know, what was it? The mass destruction, the weapons of mass destruction and all this other shit. And it was over there and it was a fake war. It's nothing to worry about. So what I want y'all to know is that wars are, one, inevitable, and two, they're very profitable, especially to the United States. So they need countries to be at war. So every time you hear about a war, it's because America needs money. America funds these wars. What do you think Lockheed Martin is? What do you think Lockheed Martin in Atlanta is? They create weapons. But why are they creating weapons? And how do they still stay in business creating weapons when America hasn't been at war in years? Because they're selling the weapons to other countries that are still at war. So they need somebody in the world to be at war with another country in order for us to make money off of them. So when you see a war, just understand, one, is inevitable, and two, it's on purpose. So none of this stuff is happenstance. This is how we, in particular, and other countries make money, because Israel, guess what, is bombing Iran right now with our shit. All right. So don't be worried. Don't be scared. All of this is orchestrated on purpose by America. All right. So just understand that we make money off of war.
Remember, the U.S. had no involvement in this. We didn't have to do anything. Both powers could have fought each other, settled it out themselves, but no. America, thousands of miles away, we just had to get involved, put our troops in danger, put American lives on the line. And even though Israel attacked Iran first, we are going to pay the price for Israeli action.
If we bomb Iran's nuclear program successfully, the first thing they're going to do is launch missiles. They're going to launch missiles at American bases in Iraq and Syria.
And I want to say this. How is Ukraine able to fight back against Russia? How is Ukraine able to fight back against Russia? Because Ukraine has our weapons, our tanks. Ukraine has our shit. So you got to think about that. So we're making weapons of mass destruction and selling the weapons of mass destruction to other countries and then accusing other countries for having weapons of mass destruction. It's all bullshit. 9/11 was all bullshit. All this shit is all bullshit. So there's no reason to be scared because that's what they want you to do. They want you to be afraid. The reason why the Twin Towers were hit and nothing happened, no plane hit the goddamn Twin Towers. No, all of that was literally they wanted to get rid of the Twin Towers because the Twin Towers had a whole bunch of architectural problems and they had to get rid of the Twin Towers. So they needed to get rid of the Twin Towers. That's the first thing. And then at the same time, they needed your rights. So right after the Twin Towers were demolished because it wasn't a goddamn plane, all that shit was just stupid. Just like COVID is stupid. All this shit was orchestrated. It was meant to get more into your privacy. What did they enact right after the Twin Towers went down? What did they do? Let me know in the chat.
We're going to launch missiles at American bases in Qatar and Saudi Arabia, or in Diego Garcia. They're going to launch missiles at Israel. Their proxies are going to launch rockets, drones, and missiles at Israel, Saudi Arabia.
And this is actual footage of what's going on over in is not Israel, but Iran.
American bases. That means Israelis are going to die. Americans are going to die. And it also means, because people don't think this way, the oil market is going to explode. Iran's proxies will bomb Saudi Arabia's oil fields. They've done it before. Iran's proxies will shut down shipping in the Strait of Hormuz.
What was the act that was enacted right after the Twin Towers went down, y'all? What was the act? I'm giving y'all a clue. The act that was enacted right after the Twin Towers went down. Anybody? Okay. It was called the Patriot Act. They call it the Patriot Act. Hilarious, right? And the New England Patriots won the Super Bowl. I don't know if y'all remember that. The Rams were the best team in entire NFL. And it shows you that football is fake also, or a part of football is fake too. Back in 2001, 2000, I forgot, I think it was 2001. The Twin Towers went down. The Rams, who was the best team in the NFL for like 2 years, went to the Super Bowl. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, somehow this dumbass team called the New England Patriots won the Super Bowl right after the Twin Towers went down. And then right after the Patriots won the Super Bowl, they enacted something called the Patriot Act. You don't think all of this was choreographed? They enacted the Patriot Act after the Twin Towers went down and the New England Patriots won the Super Bowl. And then they made or allowed or helped or whatever you want to call it, the Patriots to win Super Bowls right after that in order to bring the United States, the the feeling of the patriotism, and to keep us excited. And a lot of y'all idiots became Patriots fans, and you don't even realize that all this shit was choreographed. So just a little understanding of what was going on back then and how all of this shit is put together in order for countries to make money. War makes money.
In the Red Sea, they will choke international shipping and the internet.
Hold on, let me back this up, because this is what is being said. I want y'all to listen. So sorry for me interrupting.
Die. And it also means, because people don't think this way, the oil market is going to explode. Iran's proxies will bomb Saudi Arabia's oil fields. They've done it before. Iran's proxies will shut down shipping in the Strait of Hormuz, in the Red Sea. They will choke international shipping and the international oil trade. So there will be major military and economic ramifications if we bomb Iran. That's why I say we're then in a state of war. So what happens after we bomb Iran's nuclear program and then they launch missiles at all of us? What has to go next? We're then going to bomb their missile program. Guess where their missile program is? It's underground. Iran has missile cities deep underground. They have entire cities deep underground where they produce the missiles. And it's a huge country. So if we bomb their nuclear program.
And this is actual footage. This is not AI. This is actual footage.
And they hit us back with missiles. We're going back in to destroy their missiles. We're also going in to attack their proxies. They have proxies in Yemen. Their proxies form about a third of the security forces in Iraq. They have proxies in Syria that are at war with the Syrian government. They have proxies in Lebanon also. So we're not only now attacking Iran, we're attacking Iran's proxies in 5 other countries. Now we're at war in Yemen, Iraq, Syria, Lebanon. And Iran is major allies with China and Russia. The United States is currently involved effectively in proxy wars against those countries too. We're fighting Russia in Ukraine, and we're preparing to fight China in Taiwan.
Breaking news, Israel is jamming GPS across the country, and Netanyahu and other high government officials have fled to Greece in preparation for a massive Iranian retaliatory strike tonight.
Now, right here, listen to what he just said. This is very important right here. And back this up. Listen to this again.
In Taiwan.
Breaking news, Israel is jamming GPS across the country, and Netanyahu and other high government officials have fled to Greece in
So Netanyahu has fled to Greece. Let me show you something else. We're going to stop right there. And God damn it, where's the goddamn video? All right, hold on. I didn't send it to my phone. But keep in mind, Netanyahu fled to Greece.
Preparation for a massive Iranian retaliatory strike tonight on Jerusalem and Tel Aviv. Iranian television is reporting that nearly 1,000 ballistic missiles will be launched at Israel tonight. We saw last night that David's Sling and the Iron Dome defense system have failed to stop the missiles. Tonight will be a very bad night for Tel Aviv, and it is worth noting that Netanyahu and all the government officials have fled to Greece. He released a video on his Twitter moments ago, speaking, encouraging the Israeli people for courage, whenever he himself is not even in his own country. Netanyahu is a coward, and his actions are putting the lives of innocent babies, women, and men in Israel. Civilians that have nothing to do with the conflict. Lives are at risk because of Netanyahu's decision to start this conflict. Tonight, in a few hours, Iran has said that thousands of ballistic missiles and drones will rain down on Israel. Make sure to follow me here for updates.
It would take Iran about 12 months to enrich enough nuclear material for.
So right here, this is how, like I was saying, all of this is choreographed, and they sit back and watch other countries like build missiles and all this shit. Like, this shit is crazy, but it's inevitable.
for a
And it's
single nuclear
business.
weapon.
United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken is warning that Iran is potentially just months away or less from nuclear breakpoint.
Iran is 2 months away from a nuclear weapon, and it's a victory to get them 1 year away?
Iran could be less than a month away from building a nuclear weapon.
Netanyahu has made 2 tough-talking TV appearances, saying that Iran is just months away from making a nuclear bomb.
What is important to understand is that you have to dismantle the entire terror empire, and especially before its main practitioners, the terror states of Iran and Iraq, acquire nuclear weapons. And this, I think, has been a wake-up call from hell. It is telling us you have the power now to act.
Israel has just been embarrassed like we've never seen before, and Iran has hit Israel with hundreds of missiles. Last night, in response to Israel carrying out a huge attack on Iran, Iran launched a 3-round massive missile attack on Israel. And at the same time they did this, Iran said, quote, "The gates of hell have opened on the child-killing regime." Now, it's worth...
So, check this video out right here. Listen to this.
Netanyahu has returned to Israel, and he is in Tel Aviv right now. After fleeing to...
He fled, right? And he returned to Israel. This is the reason why. Listen to why.
Breaking news, Netanyahu has returned to Israel, and he is in Tel Aviv right now. After fleeing to Greece for the past 2 days, he is back in Tel Aviv looking at the damage that he caused. Because remember, he struck Iran first starting this war. So all of the damage, all of the casualties are on this man right here.
Does anybody know why he fled and why he decided to come back? I'll give y'all a second. Let's do a quick commercial because I want to see if y'all are keeping up with what's going on. So I'm do a quick commercial break and we'll come right back. But do y'all know why he left and why he just came back? And there's a reason why I'm bringing this up. Quick commercial. We'll be right back.
Killing is sweeping the country, and it's a card game called Like Mother Daughter.
What are you doing?
This just in, a new way of healing is sweeping the country, and it's a card game called Like Mother, Like Daughter. This game is powerful.
My favorite question was, if you could parent me all over again, what would you change? This card game has a mother deck and a daughter deck, so we both have questions for each other.
These are some good questions. Do you think I'm a people pleaser? If so, where did I get this trait from?
This card game actually helped my marriage, and the questions showed me that I still had unresolved issues with my mom, and I was taking them out on my husband.
If you don't do anything else, buy this card game. You won't regret it. Click the link below.
Like another light thought, we are the same. You'll see when we play this game.
Okay, so why did Netanyahu leave and come back? Because of this.
Iranian missiles didn't just hit random targets.
Sorry, wrong button.
It's the face of a man who realizes that his plan to drag the U.S. into this war failed. Because today, President Trump announced that we are not joining this war. The United States is not joining the war for Israel. Instead, we are going to stick and defend the Iraqi airspace, not the Israeli. To make things worse for old BB here, China, Russia, North Korea, Saudi Arabia, and Pakistan announced aid to Iran, meaning Israel will be standing alone against pretty much the top 10 military forces in the world. And he's looking at all this damage, realizing that the Iron Dome defense system has failed him, and that Israel is not invincible, something he knew, which is why he fled and left his people behind. Make sure to follow me here for the newest updates on the Iran-Israeli conflict.
I warned you guys exactly.
So some of this, not all of this, because there's a lot of moving parts, but some of this was done in order to manipulate America into being a part of this war. Now, do y'all understand why it's important to have a person that you cannot manipulate as the president of the United States? I think Trump is an idiot. But one thing Trump is not is a person that is easily manipulated. He's an asshole. We need an asshole to be the commander in chief of our military. All this other shit, I don't care nothing about. I don't care about none of this other shit that y'all are complaining about. When it comes to, I care about this because that is the number one like reason for us to have a goddamn president, because of the military. You cannot manipulate Donald Trump into doing any goddamn thing that he does not want to do. If we would have had Kamala Harris, we literally would be speaking another language already, because she's an idiot and she's easily able to be manipulated. Why? Because she's a fucking woman. There's no woman on the planet that does not sit around whining and complaining about men manipulating her. The most brilliant women on the planet, they get manipulated by stupid, dumb, broke dudes. Imagine the prime minister or the president of another goddamn country trying to manipulate you. You gonna go. Y'all go when some random dude wants you. What do you think the prime minister is gonna fucking do? So no, we do not need a woman goddamn president. So no, we are not going to war. We are not, well, we are in war. We've been in war for a couple years, but we are not a part of the war. See, you can be apart from something and a part of something at the same time. I'll say it again. You can be apart from something, which is apart from something, and a part of something all at the same time. So we are not at war, but we are in war, if that makes any sense. And it's because of Donald Trump saying no. But we are in war. We are not at war. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all understand what I'm saying. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all get that. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all understand what I'm saying.
The war for Israel. Instead, we are going to stick and defend the Iraqi airspace.
Y'all see that, right? We gave Israel weapons, but we're going to defend Iraq against Israel. It's all a business. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all understand what I'm saying. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all understand what I'm saying.
Realizes that his plan to drag the U.S. into this war failed. Because today, President Trump announced that we are not joining this war. The United States is not joining the war for Israel. Instead, we are going to stick and defend the Iraqi airspace, not the Israeli. To make things worse for old BB here, China, Russia, North Korea, Saudi Arabia, and Pakistan announced aid to Iran, meaning Israel will be standing alone against pretty much the top 10 military forces in the world. And he's looking at all this damage, realizing that the Iron Dome defense system has failed him, and that Israel is not invincible, something he knew, which is why he fled and left his people behind. Make sure to follow me.
What's up, Gail?
Here for the newest updates on the Iran-Israeli conflict.
I warned you guys.
So right here is going to be a whole bunch of technical babble that nobody's going to understand. But I want y'all to listen to this, even though y'all not going to understand what he's saying. But there's a reason why I'm going to play this. So you're not going to understand what he's going to say, and it's okay. I'm making a point after this, so stick around. Don't leave. Don't listen to this and be like, what the fuck is he talking about? I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about. But I'm going to play this on purpose because there's a point I'm making after this. So do not leave when you start hearing this technical shit and you don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Just listen anyway.
Exactly what's happening between Israel and Iran right now, and how Iran was developing nuclear weapons, and explain how the Obama administration and the Trump administration had dealt with the Iran problem, and how, frankly, the Trump administration created the problem that is being faced right now.
See, the Trump administration is creating the problem, because you got to create a problem in order to be able to sell everybody the solution, which is weapons.
Now, this is that video. And if you want to understand what is happening out there in the Middle East right now, watch this video. Does Iran have a nuclear weapon? And if not, how fast can they get one? According to published statements by the U.S. intelligence agency,
it's going to be babble, but please listen.
They don't have a nuclear weapon yet. But according to the International Atomic Energy Agency, they could get one pretty quick. This video is based upon information from the IAEA within the last month. In order to have an atomic weapon, Iran needs three things. First, they need enough radioactive fuel to fuel it. Second, they need to be able to build the bomb and make it work. And third, they need a way to deliver that bomb. For fuel, you need a radioactive isotope, either plutonium or uranium. Iran has been enriching uranium. You see,
So the reason why I'm playing this, what's up, Sunshine Goddess? The reason why I'm playing this is other countries are building nuclear bombs and shit. They're having discussions about uranium, right? While our dumbasses, black people, we trying to buy another chain or get buy a Mercedes that we can't afford, or argue with each other about who should you go on a coffee date. So I'm playing this to let y'all know that all the stupid shit that we as black people be arguing about is ignorant and stupid. I don't give a shit about no goddamn coffee date. I don't give a shit about modern women not wanting to date modern men. Who gives a shit? You know me. I say women are children, so who gives a shit? Focus on you, focus on growing, focus on reading books, focus on getting an understanding about what's going on in the world, become more interesting as a man or a woman, and then you might be able to keep somebody. But all this other bullshit, who cares? So the more you get into understanding what's going on in the world, the more interesting you'll turn, more of an interesting person you'll become, and you won't have all these relationship problems. Because at the end of the day, who gives a shit? Other countries, other humans are somewhere else having discussions about uranium, and your dumbass or our dumbasses is sitting there arguing about coffee dates and who should go 50-50.
In order to have an atomic weapon, Iran needs three things. First, they need enough radioactive fuel to fuel it. Second, they need...
Do y'all know anything about radioactive fuel? No.
To be able to build the bomb and make it work. And third, they need a way to deliver that bomb. For fuel, you need a radioactive isotope, either...
Do y'all know what a radioactive isotope is? No. I bet you know what a damn coffee date is. I bet you know what a narcissist is. I bet y'all know what a misogynist is. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? I bet y'all know what a simp is. But do y'all know what a radioactive isotope is? No. And this is how stupid we are. I bet y'all know what a pick-me is, but y'all don't know what a radioactive isotope is.
Plutonium or uranium. Iran has been enriched.
Plutonium and uranium. Some of y'all have never heard of the word uranium. But this is how stupid we are over here. We're sitting here arguing with women or arguing with men about dumb shit while other countries are building bombs and shit, radioactive isotopes, uranium and plutonium. The only time any of y'all have ever heard of uranium or plutonium was in one movie. One movie. Does anybody remember what movie talked about isotopes, uranium, and plutonium? We all seen it. Does anybody know or remember the only movie ever in life that we've ever heard of the word isotope, plutonium, or uranium? I want y'all to think. We all seen the movie. Come on, y'all. Y'all know it. What is the only movie that we ever heard of isotopes, uranium, or plutonium? Back to the Future. This is how stupid we are. Don't you remember the professor was putting together isotopes and plutonium into the thing in order to make the car go back to the future and all the other shit. Y'all remember that shit? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all watched the movie Back to the Future and remember the professor talking about plutonium, uranium, and isotopes. He was using all that shit, putting it all together in order to make a time machine. I would play the video, but you know, the video will get my channel copyright struck. But what I'm saying is to y'all is we as a group have to broaden our horizons. It's nothing wrong with going back and forth about pick me's and narcissists and misogynists and men, women, all this bullshit. But just know that other countries are not only talking about uranium, plutonium, and radioactive isotopes, they're purchasing the shit. They're working on the shit while we're over here talking about dumb shit. I just want y'all to understand that. And y'all think y'all are better than these foreign countries. Because in your mind, you think these countries are like third world countries and they walking around with sandals on and shit and they ain't got no goddamn money. No, we ain't got no goddamn money. Not them. They got more money than us. So I just want y'all to understand that. These third world countries are smarter than you, more capable than you. They can comprehend more shit than you. They are working on more shit than you, while your goofy ass is sitting around arguing with a man or a woman about a goddamn coffee date.
Uranium. You see, when you get ore and you mine it, it's not dense enough in radioactive material in order to be used in an atomic weapon. And so you have to concentrate it. And you use a centrifuge in order to do that, to take the ore.
Y'all don't know what the hell a centrifuge is. Y'all have never heard of the word centrifuge. Centrifuge with a G. Centrifuge.
To about 20% uranium to then 60% and then to 90%. You need 90% uranium in order to use a nuclear weapon. Now, centrifuges are hard to design and hard to build. Now this diagram shows uranium production inside of Iran, and the orange is the 20% uranium. Now on the left side, you can see that that's going up and then that precipitous decrease. That is based on the 2015 nuclear accord that involved Iran, the United States, and many European countries, as well as some Middle Eastern.
This is the unwritten truth.
And this is our dumbasses right here. This is our stupid asses right here, while Iran is working on all this other shit that we never heard of.
The black dollar. Everybody's profit except us. You pay white landlords. You pay white-owned utility companies. You pay white-owned car companies. Ford, Chevy, Tesla. You pay white banks interest just to live. Then you walk into your own neighborhood and you pay Asians for every beauty product on the shelf. You pay Indians and...
Oh shit. I might not be able to play this song. So y'all get it. I can't play the rest of it because I realize there's a song being played. So I don't want no problems. All right. So let's go to this.
This is good as done. Israel's.
So I want y'all to listen to this because he is going to literally explain everything that is happening all within a couple minutes.
Israel and Iran are at war. At the time of writing, it hasn't been formalized, but after what happened in the pre-dawn hours of June the 13th, it's as good as done. Israel has launched a massive sequence of airstrikes, sabotage, and targeted assassination across Iran, targeting the country's nuclear facilities, its military leadership, and its ballistic missiles. Iran has made clear its intent to retaliate in kind. The United States stands.
And to the new people that just came in, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Thank y'all for being here. Some of y'all have never seen me before. I am Mr. Let Go. I talk about relationships, but I'm not changing, but I am evolving to talking about more worldwide things because my audience needs to know what's going on outside of our little argument, like trauma and argue with men and women and the damn just the relationship battles and shit. We need to change the way we think, and then, you know, start looking at more world opinion. So I'm moving I'm not leaving something, I'm adding to what I'm already doing. So thank y'all for being here, but make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button and excuse me, share this video. If anybody in your family or any of your friends want to know exactly what's going on, and are we at war or are we not at war? So hit the thumbs up button and share this video.
Is ready to respond with overwhelming force, and the time for negotiation has conclusively passed. It's the showdown that the Middle East has been building toward for decades, and it's finally here. Israel and Iran, 0 seconds to midnight. Here's what you need to know in advance of what comes next. Now, before we begin, we've got to issue a very important caveat here. Everything that we discussed today is accurate to the best of our ability as of 9 o'clock in the morning, local time in Tehran on Friday, June the 13th. We have worked to produce and publish this episode as quickly as possible. Indeed, I'm heading off on holiday this afternoon. I wasn't even supposed.
Everybody drop popcorn emojis in the chat. Drop popcorn emojis in the chat. Drop popcorn emojis in the chat. This is going to be entertaining as well as insightful. Drop popcorn emojis in the chat.
Back from holiday next week. Oh, with that out of the way, let's begin. The explosions began at about 3 o'clock in the morning, again, local time in Tehran. In Jerusalem, the attack was dubbed Operation Rising Lion. Among the most important targets for Israel was a key uranium enrichment facility called Natanz, where Iran has...
Here we go again with the word uranium. Israel's Operation Rising Lion look inside of Iran's key nuclear sites at Iran's principal uranium enrichment site at something. I can't read the rest of it because it gets fuzzy, but I just need y'all to broaden y'all's mindsets about what's going on and the inner workings of what's going on, and not just about Israel or just about Iran, but what are they doing? What's up, Dion? Everybody drop popcorn emojis in the chat.
Work to prepare enough uranium at the proper enrichment levels that it could create weapons-grade material on short notice. Images circulating on social media in the immediate aftermath of Israel's first wave of strikes showed Natanz in flames with smoke billowing high into the sky. According to the chief of Iran's Atomic Energy Agency, Natanz is now severely damaged. But Natanz was far from Israel's only target. According to sources from within Israel's defense apparatus, the Israel Defense Forces, or IDF, hit a number of sites relating to Iran's nuclear program, as well as its missile launch capabilities and its command and control infrastructure. A number of hits were reported across the capital city of Tehran, including at 6 separate military bases, 2 secure command posts, and residential units where important Iranian figures lived. The headquarters of the Revolutionary Guard Corps was reported to be in flames by the time the first strike ended, with some accounts indicating that a crisis meeting between senior leaders was underway when the facility was hit. Iran declared a nationwide state of emergency in response, although by the time it went into effect, a second wave of strikes was already on its way. After a few hours, Israeli sources reported that the IDF had logged around 300 successful hits, with that number only expected to rise as the situation.
Meet up at a coffee shop and play this fun dating card game. We'll have fun and see if we're compatible all at the same time.
Ooh, what's the name of the game?
It's called Deeper Discussions.
Hey, Brenda.
I'm down.
Thank you, Brenda. I appreciate you.
Okay, meet you at 6.
Fellas, buy this card game. Ladies, buy this card game. Buy about 2 or 3 card games. The main reason why people can't stay together isn't because they don't like each other no more. It's actually because their present family issues come up or their past family issues come up. But when you play Deeper Discussions, you'll be able to understand a person's family issues up front.
This game can be played with either 2 people or an entire group. So have fun.
Question number 1. Name a time when money was the main factor why a relationship went bad.
Deeper Discussions Dating Edition. Again, these cards are good for vetting a potential boyfriend, a potential girlfriend, a potential husband, a potential wife. The texture of these cards are so soft and silky, by the way. Like
they ain't gonna get
really
wore out.
Durable.
A dating card game for introverts who have a hard time asking the much needed compatibility questions. Deeper Discussions, the card game.
wide range of sources speaking anonymously to the global press, Israel's first wave of attacks went far beyond just airstrikes. Israeli intelligence elements linked to the Mossad organization moved into action all across the country, especially in urban areas, carrying out a range of acts of sabotage and targeted assassination. Now, the specifics of those operations, not yet known as of the time of writing, but already it is clear that the cultivation of assets and the preparation on the ground for an attack of this scale must have taken years. In addition to high-level officials, Mossad targeted Iran's air defense systems as well as its ballistic missiles and launch equipment. Israeli intelligence sources have indicated that the nation also worked to create a false sense of security for Iran immediately prior to the attack, including a vacation for Benjamin Netanyahu and an upcoming wedding for his son. Just as important as the locations that Israel hit are the individuals that Israel has eliminated. Among those who have been confirmed dead are Hossein Salami, the leader of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, and Mohammad Bagheri, chief of staff of the entire Iranian military. Also among the dead, the Gholam Ali Rashid, commander of the central headquarters of the Iranian General Staff, and Ali Shamkhani, the senior advisor to Iran's supreme leader, who was entrusted to be Iran's chief negotiator in working toward a new nuclear deal with the United States. In totality, Israel is believed to have eliminated a large portion of Iran's top military leadership, if not most or even all of the nation's most important military decision-makers.
Bridget, I just dropped my email address in the chat. Deeper Discussions Card Game at gmail.com. Yeah, I would love to see what your idea is.
Just as important is the list of people who've survived thus far. Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, President Masoud Pezeshkian, Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, and Minister of Defense Aziz Nasirzadeh. None of them are believed to have been targeted by this wave of Israeli strikes, but that could change in the future. As of the time of writing, Iran is only engaged in a limited retaliation, with the IDF reporting that Iran has launched a number of kamikaze drones toward Israel. While the reason for the lack of larger immediate response hasn't been confirmed outright, is hardly a secret. Israel's attack appears to have been quite clearly intended to destroy Iran's command and control infrastructure, and Israel now appears to have succeeded. Iran's supreme leader has already appointed a few replacement figures, including a new chief of staff of the armed forces, but that's only one small part of what Iran will need to do in the coming days. With the magnitude and scope of what Israel has achieved, it's likely that Iran's surviving military leaders will need time before they can even figure out who's supposed to be in charge now.
So I want y'all to think about that. A couple air attacks to a certain degree has knocked out a lot of their leaders. They're just going to replace that leader with another leader, and they're going to just keep going. See, that's what we don't have as Black people. Let me tell y'all something. I witnessed this, the knocking out of a leader and then just the rest of us just falling apart with the NFAC. Some of y'all don't know what the NFAC is the Not Fucking Around Coalition. I was a part of the NFAC, and I was proud to be a part of the NFAC. And speaking of knocking out the leaders, they knocked out our leader. We were great. We were organized. Like, you know how Atlanta is having all these, well, LA is having all these riots. If the NFAC was still in operation, none of that shit would be going on, because they feared us more than they feared the police, because they respected us in a way that they did not respect the police. If anybody doesn't know what the NFAC is, type in NFAC and Google it. Go Google NFAC Kentucky. We were there for we were there when Breonna Taylor got murdered, and we pulled up on Kentucky. We pulled up on a lot of different officials to find out what the hell is going on. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is I was a part of the NFAC, and they took out, which means they arrested and put in prison, the leader of the NFAC. And because they took out the leader of the NFAC, there is no more NFAC. And that is the problem with us black people. We have one leader, just like Fred Hampton, just like Martin Luther King, just like any of these other leaders. You wipe out the leader, we all fall apart. And that is the problem with black people. They knocked out our leader and there is no more NFAC. Just like that. The next day, it was just done. So when it comes to what he's saying, they knocked out a few leaders, like right here, and they still moving. That's the problem with black people. You knock out our leader, we just go about our business like nothing happened. You can't do that with other races. They're just gonna continue and move on with another goddamn leader. That's the reason why black people ain't got shit.
A false sense of security for Iran immediately prior to the attack, including a vacation for Benjamin Netanyahu and an upcoming wedding for his son. Just as important as the locations that Israel hit are the individuals that Israel has eliminated. Among those who have been confirmed dead are Hussein Salami, the leader of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps.
So these people are dead. Mind you, they are dead. They are leaders that are dead. They're just going to put in another leader and keep going. Black people don't have this ability.
And Mohammad Bagheri, chief of staff of the entire Iranian military. Also among the dead, Gholam Ali Rashid, commander of the central headquarters of the Iranian General Staff, and Ali Shamkhani, the senior advisor to Iran's supreme leader, who was entrusted to be Iran's chief negotiator in working toward a new nuclear deal with the United States. In totality, Israel is believed to have eliminated a large portion of Iran's top military leadership.
Y'all see that, right? They've gotten rid of a good portion of Iran's leadership. But watch what happens.
If not most or even all of the nation's most important military decision makers. Just as important is the list of people who've survived thus far. Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, President Masoud Pezeshkian, Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, and Minister of Defense Aziz Nasirzadeh.
Do you see how many leaders they have? Do you see how many leaders they have? In the black community, it'll be one leader, and then something happens to him, everything falls apart. Do you see how many leaders are dead and how many new leaders are just there ready to take over?
None of them are believed to have been targeted by this wave of Israeli strikes, but that could change in the future. As of the time of writing, Iran has only engaged in a limited retaliation, with the IDF reporting that Iran has launched a number of kamikaze drones toward Israel. While the reason for the lack of larger immediate response hasn't been confirmed outright, is hardly a secret. Israel's attack appears to have been quite clearly intended to destroy Iran's command and control infrastructure, and Israel now appears to have succeeded. Iran's supreme leader has already appointed a few replacement figures, including a new chief of staff of the armed forces, but that's only one small part of what Iran will need to do in the coming days.
You see that? This happened last night. And they already appointed new leaders. Listen again. This happened last night, and they already appointed new leaders.
And Israel now appears to have succeeded. Iran's supreme leader has already appointed a few replacement figures, including a new chief of staff of the armed forces, but that's only one small part of what Iran will need to do in the coming days. With the magnitude
They already appointed new leaders. Second the daddy leave out of the household falls apart. Or I'm talking about black fathers in the black community. The woman doesn't go and replace the father that left with a new father with structure. No. So with every side of black people, whether it's in the household or whether it's in the community, when the leader is gone, whether he's wiped out or whether he leaves or whatever, we don't have a culture of looking for a new leader. I tell all you women that the longer you stay single, the more you're going to run your life in a ditch because you don't have no fucking sense. And I say that with my chest. you as a woman have no fucking sense. You are a child mentally and emotionally. You need a man to lead you. And the reason why a lot of men are not leaders, speaking to the men now, is because you did not grow up under a leader. And because of that, you are not a leader. When the leader is wiped out, you have to go find a new leader before things get worse. Most of you women don't do that. So I want y'all to pay attention in your own household and in your own community to what these other countries are doing. Hold on, y'all. This is my daughter. Hey. Hey, hold on 1 second. Hold on.
Scope of what Israel has achieved, it's likely that Iran's surviving military leaders will need time before they can even figure out who's supposed to be in charge now. Iranian MiG-29 fighter jets did scramble to respond, but it's unclear whether or not any air-to-air engagements actually took place. If they did, then this may well be the day that the American-made F-35 fighter, specifically the customized version that Israel flies, gets its first test in head-to-head aerial combat. Reports to that effect have not yet emerged as of yet. With the Middle East on a knife's edge, we'll wait for another day to explain the ins and outs of how we got here. The most important context, however, is to do with the ongoing nuclear negotiations between Iran and the United States. Over the last few months, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has come out as a staunch opponent of the talks, arguing that Iran cannot be trusted to engage in a nuclear deal of any sort, and it's a foolhardy endeavor to even try and come to terms. Those concerns have been validated by recent reports that found that Iran is rapidly increasing its stockpiles of low-enriched uranium. That affords Iran a dangerous breakout capability, and experts now estimate that within a span of weeks, Iran could enrich enough of its existing stocks to weapons grade, which it could use to build 10 nuclear warheads. It would take longer for Iran to build and assemble a delivery mechanism for them, but that would likely be a matter of just months. According to Israel, however, even that is an undercount. Speaking to the global press as strikes were already underway,
Sorry, y'all. My kids was calling me to wish me a happy Father's Day.
Israeli officials alleged that Iran had enough uranium to produce 15 nuclear bombs.
So right here, y'all, other countries are building bombs and shit. Thank you, Luis. I didn't have any sense. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like, you got to look at leadership and how other countries are getting bombed, and they're putting in a new leader in order to retaliate. We get bombed, or we lose our jobs, or we break up, or we get divorced. Everything just disintegrates in front of us because we don't have the ability or wherewithal to actually go find a new leader. Why don't we do this? Like I said, whether it's a Martin Luther King's or whether it's your husband or your ex-boyfriend or your baby daddy, y'all just stay lost. Like,
increasing its stockpiles of low-enriched uranium. That affords Iran a dangerous breakout capability, and experts now estimate.
And them niggas run around like, where the hell do you find uranium at? Like, I want y'all to think about it. They over here finding uranium and shit. We were here arguing about dumb shit with no leader.
Air engagements actually took place. If they did, then this may well be the day that the American-made F-35 fighter, specifically the customized version that Israel flies, gets its first test in head-to-head aerial combat.
These third world countries are building or buying from Lockheed Martin in Atlanta fighter jets and shit. They're not building these. They're buying them from America. But they building fighter jets and shit, or buying fighter jets. How can a third world country afford fighter jets and your ass can't even afford a new car? I just want y'all to understand how stupid we are as black people. The shit we buy, the shit we can't afford, the shit we argue about. Third world countries. They're buying or building fighter jets, plutonium and shit, uranium. We ain't doing shit.
Reports to that effect have not yet emerged as of yet. With the Middle East on a knife's edge, we'll wait for another day to explain the ins and outs of how we got here. The most important context, however, is to do with the ongoing nuclear negotiations between Iran and the United States. Over the last few months, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has come out as a staunch opponent of the talks, arguing that Iran cannot be trusted to engage in a nuclear deal of any sort, and it's a foolhardy endeavor to even try and come to terms. Those concerns have been validated by recent reports that found that Iran is rapidly increasing its stockpiles of low-enriched uranium. That affords Iran a dangerous breakout capability, and experts now estimate that within a span of weeks, Iran could enrich enough of its existing stocks to weapons grade.
Oh, shit. Hold on. Shout out to Yolanda with the $100 Cash App. Thank you, Yolanda, for the $100 Cash App. Shout out to you. And you said Happy Father's Day. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you to Yolanda for $100. Okay. Okay. I need some damn some sounds and shit. Shout out to Yolanda. Thank you so much, Yolanda. If you're watching, because this was like 15 minutes ago. If you're still watching, thank you so much, Yolanda, for the $100 Cash App. Cash App is across the bottom of the screen. Super chat, y'all already know, or buy one of my card games for either you or for somebody in your family. Even though this is a mother-daughter card game, at the end of the day, support fathers. All right? Yeah, I need some sound effects. So support me as a father if you, one, want to wish me Happy Father's Day, or two, support the fact that I'm creating a new division of content that y'all can come here and enjoy and learn from, which is worldwide news content instead of just, the damn gender war content. We got to focus on the actual war that is going on outside of the gender war. Cash App is $AARON 1000. But Yolanda, thank you so much. You just made my day with that $100 Cash App.
Which it could use to build 10 nuclear warheads. It would take longer for Iran to build and assemble a delivery mechanism for them, but that would likely be a matter of just months.
Months? I want y'all to think about this. They're building nuclear warheads, and it will take a couple months for them to build a rocket to attach the nuclear warhead to. Months. A rocket to attach to a nuclear warhead. Months. How long will it take you to fix your credit? How long will it take you to get over your ex? How long will it take you to replace the man that left that was the leader of your household and to find a new leader of your household? Years, right? These niggas are creating or building nuclear warheads and shit, and it takes months to put a goddamn rocket, which is the delivery system of the nuclear warhead. Thank you. What's up, I-12-074? We are so behind, y'all.
According to Israel, however, even that is an undercount. Speaking to the global press as strikes were already underway, Israeli officials alleged that Iran had enough uranium to produce 15 nuclear bombs. Not only that, but
15 nuclear bombs. Some of y'all ain't even got no gun, and they over here with bombs and shit.
They allege the bomb.
Some of y'all don't even have a flashlight. If your lights go out, you ain't got no goddamn flashlight. And they got bombs and shit.
were already being assembled and that Iran was just days away from final nuclear breakthrough. Now, we do have to emphasize here that those claims have not been validated independently, but as of now, they're the explanation that Israeli sources have provided for the strike. Since the start of the nuclear negotiations, the United States under Donald Trump has worked to hold Israel in check, making sure that Israel didn't carry out a strike several months ago and demanding a chance to establish a diplomatic settlement. As recently as 2 weeks ago, Washington was urging Jerusalem to be patient and avoid launching strikes, citing the fact that Iran was at that time still participating actively in the negotiating process. But now, with Trump seeming to grow more skeptical about Iran's willingness to work with the US, it's unclear that he tried to prevent Netanyahu from taking action. Trump and Netanyahu spoke by phone as recently as Monday, but few details about the content of that call have been disclosed to the public. Iran has insisted that it retain the ability to enrich uranium on its own territory, a clear non-starter for Israel, and efforts to work out a compromise don't appear to have had any success. Prior to
So I don't want to play his whole video. I just want to give y'all an understanding.
Israel
and this is his name. If y'all want to, I'll put the link to this video under this video. His name is Simon Whistler. Simon Whistler. That's his name. I just wanted to give credit to the content creator. But my point is, third world countries or other races, let's just say, their leader can get wiped out and they'll just put in another leader and keep it moving. We as Black people, we as a community, we as a society, we don't do that. When our leader gets wiped out, we just stay wiped out. And we have no structure under the structure. What's even worse is we don't even allow the person to provide structure to our lives because we have too much of an ego to allow somebody to come in and give us structure. Like in a dating world, because I know we're talking about World War III type shit, but in a dating world, I would offer structure to a woman that I'm looking to date, right? And a woman would like refuse or seem like she would go against the structure. I'll just back off. I'd be like, I ain't gotta, I'm done. And I would just cut her ass off because a lot of you women don't even know what structure looks like. And a lot of you women would, without even realizing it, would push away structure because you think your life is so great knowing that your life is trash, right? So the thing that I want y'all to learn from with this World War or potential World War III is to receive structure, ask for structure, and accept structure in your life as a woman and as a man, because a lot of you men, y'all don't know shit either, because y'all were raised by structureless, goofball single mothers yourselves. And when I talk to the men, when I say y'all are broke and y'all need to find yourselves before y'all get with a woman, a lot of you dudes get mad at me. And looking at what's going on, one thing I want y'all to get from this, along with what I just said, is that the opposite sex is not the enemy. There are true enemies out there bombing each other. And we can't stick together and learn from each other. Like, ain't no woman bombed me or blew up my house. Shit going on out there. People are dying left and right, blowing up people's houses and fucking buildings and shit. We ain't dealing with all that. But the second you get a flat tire, you want to start crying, thinking your goddamn life is over. So, 1, seek out leadership. 2, accept leadership when it comes. 3, Stop catastrophizing and thinking your life is over just because you lost your job or you got laid off or you got a flat tire. Because you have no idea, and I have no idea either, how bad things can get if somebody was to bomb us and blew up our goddamn house or blew up our goddamn schools or some shit. And the last point is other countries are building bombs and rockets and warheads and all this other shit. And your ass can't even get your goddamn credit straight. You walk around with a 580 credit score and you keep buying more dumb shit. You ain't got no money saved up. You ain't got no weapons. Y'all already know. I have like all kinds of weapons around my house. But at the end of the day, the biggest weapon you can have is your mind by getting therapy and having good credit and having a backup plan like stocking food, canned goods, water, flashlights, weapons, guns, bullets. Because some people have a gun, but they don't even have enough bullets for the goddamn gun. You got one box of bullets, but if something goes wrong, that box of bullets is going to be gone in the first gunfight you have if everything goes wrong. I have a room full of bullets. Not a room, but I have a fraction of my room full of bullets. Put it like that. Bullets. Because all you need is one or two guns, but the gun ain't going to be worth shit if you ain't got no fucking bullets. What's up, Pammy Pam? So from a macro level or from a micro level, get your shit together because so many things are going on around you that are way more important than the dumb shit you're complaining about. With all that being said, I am out of here. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to hit the share video. Share this video. And I'm going to do more broader topics like this, and along with, the relationship topics also. So if y'all enjoyed this, put a 1 in the chat. If y'all enjoyed this, put a 1 in the chat. If y'all enjoyed this show, put a 1 in the chat. Do y'all want to see more shows like this? Let me know. Because, this isn't my normal content. Did y'all enjoy this? Free Tory. Shout out to Tory Lanez. Put a 1 in the chat. Y'all want to see more content like this? Or do y'all want me to just stick to the relationship stuff and, childhood trauma shit? Pammy Pam, all you got to do is rewind it. It's no problem. Shout out to you. I came late. It's all good. All you got to do is rewind it. This was a good ass show. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all want to see more content like this from me. Because I want to see what y'all like and what y'all want from me. All right, we got a 1. We got 1. You got a yup. You got a yup. You got a yet. I'm assuming you meant yup. We sometimes don't mind structure, but what we don't want someone to control us. Structure is control. Kalandra. Structure is control. So if you don't want to be controlled, you need to stay by yourself. Let me tell y'all a quick story about something before I go. I was dating a woman and we was good. We were moving in the right direction, right? And we were just on the phone and she was just walking through Target, right? True story. And you know how you can hear what's going on in the background when you're just on the phone with somebody? So we on the phone, she walked through Target and stuff. And the little girl said, "Hey, do you want a rose?" And she was like, "Oh my God, thank you." I said, She's like, "What? Do not take that rose." She's like, "Huh? Don't take the rose." She said, "Why?" "Walk away from the little girl right now." She was like, excuse me? Walk away from the little girl right now. So she walked away from the little girl. She was like, who are you talking to? Did you walk away from her? Yeah, but who you taking? I said, that little girl could literally be working for a trafficker waiting outside, and it's a possibility that you may have something on your car. And the little girl was sent inside to get you to take a rose, and your goofy ass was going to smell the rose. And next thing you know, a numbing agent or a sleepy agent was going to go up your nose. And by the time you leave out of Target and go to your car, you're going to fall asleep and you'll be in another goddamn country when you wake up. And she was like, you a little controlling. I don't like that. I said, oh, okay. You're not for me then. I need you to do this. Go to your daddy and ask your daddy, tell your daddy the whole scenario and see what your daddy said. I hung up on the bitch. Right? And then this motherfucker called me like 2 months later, like, hey, I just want to let you know that my daddy actually agreed with you and told me to apologize to you. I said, oh, okay. I'm not interested no more. She's like, okay. I said, yeah, I don't have time for that. I'm not. If you see my words as controlling, like that's not going to leave you just because your daddy said I was right. I'm not finna turn around and have to deal with you going against me or going against my authority or control, whatever you, and deem it as controlling, because that's not going to leave your mind. If you have a belief system that says me telling you to walk away from somebody while you're in a target as controlling, I don't want to deal with you, because that's going to be another problem. So I just, nicely was like, I'm not interested. And I was out. So to you women who think a masculine man telling you what to do is controlling, stay your ass single, because ain't nobody got time for that shit. We are here to control you because you don't have no fucking sense. So to the women who think they don't want to be controlled, you actually have a belief system that tells you that you are smart and you actually have sense. You ain't got no fucking sense. And the day you realize that your ass ain't got no sense after you ran your life into a tree for the 17th time next month, just sit back and just say, God damn, why I keep making all these dumbass decisions? Why is it everything, like every decision I make just is just stupid? It's because you're a woman. You're not meant to be a leader. There's a huge part of your brain that is full of neurons meant for childbearing. That means there's a big fraction of your brain that is not there, that is there in a man's brain. Because a huge part of your brain is built for childbearing. So certain neurons that you just literally just don't have in your brain. But until you understand that, stay your ass single, because a masculine man that will offer structure, leadership, will control your goddamn ass, and you will sit your ass down somewhere, and you will shut your ass up. But if you don't want to do that, stay your ass by yourself, and whenever you run your life in the tree in the future, just sell some pussy and let somebody that fucked you for some money fix it. Because guess what? That's still going to be control. Because half of y'all done sold some ass indirectly to get your bills paid because you ran yourself in a goddamn fucking tree. Most of y'all got badass credit. Most of y'all have $100,000 or more in school debt, and you don't know what the fuck you're going to do. And most of y'all are one paycheck away from being homeless. But y'all have all the answers, and y'all don't want to be controlled, right? Get your head out your ass and go find a man that will offer a constructive criticism, offer structure, and will control you. Because you can't control yourself. Because you ain't got no goddamn sense. So I'm out. Talk to y'all later. And if you still have unresolved trauma with your mama, buy my mother-daughter card game. It will change your life.
Way of healing is sweeping the country, and it's a card game called Like Mother, Like Daughter. This just in, a new way of healing is sweeping the country, and it's a card game called Like Mother, Like Daughter. This game is powerful.
My favorite question was, if you could parent me all over again, what would you change? This card game has a mother deck and a daughter deck, so we both have questions for each other.
These are some good questions. Do you think I'm a people pleaser? If so, where did I get this trait from?
This card game actually helped my marriage, and the questions showed me that I still had unresolved issues with my mom, and I was taking them out on my husband.
If you don't do anything else, buy this card game. You won't regret it. Click the link below.
Wanted from your mother? Time, acknowledgement, and apology? What if I told you that all of your answers are... What is something that you always wanted from your mother? Time, acknowledgement, and apology? What if I told you that all of your answers are in this card game?
What was the biggest thing missing in your life growing up?
I would say I feel like you prioritized work over me a lot.
My favorite question was, if you could parent me all over again, what would you change? This card game actually helped my marriage, and the questions showed me that I still had unresolved issues with my mom, and I was taking them out on my husband. This card game has a mother deck and a daughter deck, so we both have questions for each other.
These are some good questions. If you don't do anything else, buy this card game. You won't regret it. Click the link below.